Hi guys, it's Joel from Teclan here. I'm a digital growth executive and today I'm going to go over some questions that I hear all of the time and people don't know. You guys quite liked the last one, so I thought I'd go on and answer some more questions that nobody really answers.
What's something a business can be doing that looks like good marketing but is actually a complete waste of time?
Yeah, so there's one common one that comes up and it's usually smaller and local businesses and they're doing their best to market their business. But what that entails is posts that are just purely for engagement, and that is really good for the community, of course. It's great for getting that rapport with your audience and putting faces to the business. But when that's all you're doing, you're never actually bringing commercial value to the business. So while it can work, it should not be your entire strategy. Running giveaways, random funny TikTok trends, whatever. It can work, and occasionally it's really good for building that community engagement up, but it should not be your entire strategy because that is not proper marketing and it's not sustainable, because as soon as you run out of those giveaways or as soon as people start to find you're not that funny, the trend's over, they're not going to follow your business and they're not going to bring any value.
If a business is getting leads but they're not turning into customers, is that a marketing problem?
No, so there's two sides to this question. It can be a marketing problem, but it can also be another department, which it commonly is. So marketing, if the leads are coming in, they're not answering the phone and they're nothing to do with it. Let's say you're selling an industrial product B2B. If all the leads are coming in are gmail.com and it's random people that have no trace in the industry, it's likely the quality of the leads and that marketing isn't working for you. Whereas on the other side, when the marketing is working and the traffic is quite tight and it's reliable, if they're not converting, that is not the fault of marketing. If you get quality leads, your salesman or whoever it is that does sales in your business should be closing them, and if they're not closing them, it's a problem with the offer or perhaps sales, and they need to change the way they approach things. So it's a two-sided answer. It can be both departments, but that's why it's so important for sales and marketing to work together so the audience and the messaging is aligned with what the salesmen are going to offer people and what they're going to sell people to. So keep that in mind and make sure to check both of them.
What's the biggest red flag you see when a business tells you they're doing everything with their marketing?
Yeah, so one of the biggest red flags with that is if they have an in-house team, that's fine. That's believable, right? They might be doing all of that. Or if they're a very, very small business like a local cafe, it's doable that they're doing all of that. But when it gets to a business of decent scale and they say we're doing everything or we don't need marketing, that's a massive red flag, as that often means someone who's often maybe like an admin staff who already has a lot to do is being pushed, the marketing is being pushed on them, and that's not real marketing in that way. They might know marketing and they might do it, but when they've got so many other things to do, it can often mean the marketing is getting behind. They haven't got the time spent on it that they need, and businesses that don't invest in the marketing tend to see decline, especially as with how competitive online business is now. You need to really be on the game, and when it's shoved onto someone, it's unfair on them, and it's often tied with no benefit to them. It's just an extra of the job, even though it should be an entirely different job. So keep that in mind. If you're doing small level marketing and it's working for you, or you have an in-house team, that's great. But if one member of staff stuck with it that's not actually in marketing, you should really look at that and see if it's really working.
What's one thing businesses obsess over in marketing that actually doesn't matter that much?
Yeah, so I would say it's metrics like impressions, views, likes across all platforms, whether that's paid or organic. So a lot of businesses, the view counts are satisfying, right? Obviously, if you get 100,000 views, you're like, wow, this is great. But if none of those views are actually qualified and it's not a video that's speaking to your ICP, it's pointless in that sense. You're not going to get any business from it. Whereas if you get a video of 100 views, but most of them are people who could convert, then that's much more valuable. So I think it's just looking past vanity metrics and actually thinking about what brings money into your business, what helps you survive, and pushing down on that rather than just going for the best amount of views because you're hopping on trends. I think it's really important to just separate that from real commercial value, and the balance is always there. So as long as you're engaged in the community and you've got that human side, you also need to keep the commercial side or your business won't really survive on social media, and that's really important.
If you took over a business's marketing tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd stop doing?
I would just stop isolating marketing in the sense, even if it's outsourced to an agency like us, you need to make sure it's not isolated from the entire business, because that's what often happens. Finance and operations, they work so closely together, but then marketing and sometimes sales is often seen as like a separate part of the business and it's something else, whereas it's essential to the business and for bringing in new leads and getting sales. So I think it's really important to see that as this part of the same like operation and making sure they all align, because if not, your business is going to be here and everywhere and the messaging is going to be off of the marketing and you won't really be able to track the real results. Whereas if you're closely aligned with operations, with finance, with tech, whatever it is, then you'll be able to see if the marketing is working, how you can improve sales process, for example, or operational processes in line with the marketing to improve the business overall. So I think it's to stop working in isolation with different departments. It's not just to marketing, it's to all of them. But marketing is definitely one that often gets left out. So that's the first thing I would focus on. So I hope that video was helpful, guys, and the questions answered helped you out. If you'd like more videos like this, or you'd like any specific questions answered, please drop a comment and we'll make sure to do that, whether it's from me or other members of the team. Make sure to subscribe and link for more content, and I appreciate your time. Thanks, guys.